Hello, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Claire, and I'm joined today by Alan. We'll be discussing several key news stories that have been making headlines recently.
Hello, Claire. I'm Alan. Let's dive into the stories. What's the first topic we're covering today?
Let's start with the news that Russia has charged Telegram founder Pavel Durov with aiding terrorism and put him on an international wanted list. The Federal Security Service alleges Durov failed to remove Telegram channels, chats, and bots used by Ukrainian security services to coordinate sabotage and terrorism.
That's a serious allegation. How does this relate to the ongoing restrictions on Telegram in Russia?
The charges against Durov came as Russian authorities continue to restrict Telegram. It seems the Russian government is taking a harder stance against the platform, likely due to its perceived role in facilitating certain activities they deem terrorist or sabotage-related.
I see. So the FSB is claiming that Telegram was used for coordinating activities against Russia. Has there been any response from Telegram or Durov regarding these allegations?
The reporting doesn't mention a specific response from Durov or Telegram. It's worth noting that Durov was born and began his career in Russia, but later moved abroad, which might be relevant to understanding the context of these charges.
That's an interesting point. The international wanted list implies that Russia is seeking cooperation from other countries to apprehend Durov. How likely is it that other nations will comply with this request?
That's a complex question. The likelihood of other countries complying depends on their diplomatic relations with Russia and their own legal frameworks regarding such requests. It's a delicate geopolitical situation.
Let's move on to the story about Dr. Anthony Fauci invoking the Fifth Amendment during a Republican-led Senate hearing about his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. What are the implications of him taking the Fifth?
Invoking the Fifth Amendment means Dr. Fauci is declining to answer questions that might incriminate him. In this context, it's likely a strategic move to avoid potential legal or political repercussions. The hearing was led by Senator Rand Paul, who has been critical of Fauci's handling of the pandemic.
That's right. Senator Paul subpoenaed Fauci to appear before the committee. Do we know what specific questions Fauci was avoiding by taking the Fifth?
The reporting doesn't specify the exact questions. However, given the context, it's likely related to his actions and decisions during the pandemic, which have been under scrutiny.
So, by invoking the Fifth, Fauci is essentially avoiding accountability in this particular forum. What are the potential consequences for him and for the ongoing investigations into the pandemic response?
The immediate consequence is that Fauci won't have to answer those specific questions under oath. However, this move might attract further scrutiny or criticism from lawmakers and the public. It's a significant political and legal maneuver.
Let's discuss the story about former President Trump asking the Supreme Court to overturn the $83 million defamation verdict awarded to E. Jean Carroll. Trump's legal team argues that his 2019 statements were protected by presidential immunity.
That's correct. The case stems from comments Trump made in 2019 after Carroll publicly accused him of sexual assault. Trump's argument is that as president, he can't be sued for comments made in that capacity.
That's a crucial point. If the Supreme Court accepts this argument, it could have significant implications for presidential immunity and the limits of a president's personal liability. Has there been any precedent set in similar cases?
There have been cases involving presidential immunity, but this specific situation is complex because it involves comments made while Trump was in office, but not necessarily as part of his official duties. The Justice Department is also involved in this appeal, supporting Trump's position.
Let's move on to the story about Trump's announcement of a $22.5 billion renovation of Washington Dulles International Airport. The plan includes eliminating the current People Mover system.
Yes, Trump announced this major renovation project, which is expected to significantly alter the airport's infrastructure. The People Movers are automated systems that transport passengers within the airport.
That's a substantial investment. What are the expected benefits of this renovation, according to the announcement?
The reporting suggests that the renovation aims to modernize the airport and improve its facilities. However, details about the specific benefits and timeline are not clear from the available information.
Eliminating the people movers will likely have a significant impact on how passengers navigate the airport. Are there any indications of what will replace this system?
The reports don't provide specific details on what will replace the people movers. It's likely that the renovation plans will include alternative transportation solutions within the airport.
Let's discuss the story about Hadi Matar being convicted of federal terrorism charges related to the 2022 stabbing of author Salman Rushdie. What were the key findings of the trial?
The jury found Hadi Matar guilty of all charges, including engaging in an act of transnational terrorism. Matar is already serving a 25-year state prison sentence for attempted murder related to the stabbing.
The conviction for transnational terrorism adds a significant layer to the case. What does this charge imply about the perceived motivations or connections behind the attack?
The charge of transnational terrorism suggests that the attack was not isolated, but had broader international implications or connections. This conviction reflects the seriousness with which the U.S. legal system views such acts.
It's a significant verdict. How does this case impact the broader discussion around free speech and the protection of public figures and authors?
Cases like this highlight the ongoing challenges in balancing free speech with the need to protect individuals from violence or intimidation. The conviction sends a strong message about the legal consequences of such actions.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's discussion. Thank you for joining us, Alan.
Thank you, Alan. It's been a pleasure discussing these important stories with you.